Hey Kingsman, welcome back to another Napoleon Total War 3 battle. I'm going to start off by saying, look at this guy. Look at him. He has a massive sword, a massive hat, and he doesn't seem to really care that he's hefty around this big piece of metal. Sharp metal, of course. Today we have, obviously, the Ottomans, which is a faction we don't see very often, especially on this map. We got the Ottomans, Denmark, Rhinebund, which is another one you don't see as often, and then the Guard Imperial from France, bringing a lot of lights, and then a bunch of more elite infantry all in a mass here. So this is a 4v4 sent in by Denmark, who I believe is being, we'll see his name after the battle, but I believe it's SM Player. Maybe I'm getting that wrong. I apologize if I am. But as you can see, guys, the Ottomans are bringing a ton of cav and infantry. Like I said, don't see them very often, so this will be very interesting. I know they have some really good cav, and oh my goodness, look at all of this. Look at all of this. This is so much cav. And there's 2 waves of it. It's just glorious. And now they're starting to run. Anyway, get distracted. Kingston getting distracted. Let's find the generals of the other armies. So we have 2 Russian factions, the 1812 and the 1805 to 1807. We have Saxony, so watch out for those heavy cav that Saxony can bring. In Prussia, which, well, watch out for the masses of infantry. Their cuirassier units are not the greatest to combat France, although France is not being... There's only 1 French player, so all the other players are going to have to fill in. And, yeah, it looks like the general's kind of getting stuck. Infantry are causing him to do a interesting dance here. So it looks like 1 maybe Russian player is going to go right. Last time we had this map, guys, it ended up being that all these factions the blue team went this way, and one of the red teams went around and just surrounded them. Already seeing some Russian lights. I believe these are some Hussar-type units. They're not Lancers. And they are going to be kind of scouting out the position. They are going up against, well, the Ottomans. And you can see the Ottomans had some guerrilla units that kind of deployed right here by this building by the river. And they are going to be trying to stop them, and hopefully they can take this LOC. And it looks like maybe the Ottoman cavalry sending up some really light but very large unit of Ottoman cav. I love how there's the different colored horses. They all don't look organized. I kind of like that. Brings some more offense. Oh my goodness, I can't talk today. Authenticity. Still can't talk. You guys know what I mean. So, okay, now we're starting to see more of the Russians bring in their heavier cav, some dragoons, and like a cuirassier unit. And they're backing up this light cavalry unit.
Hey.
Well, hello there, bud. Your dad's recording. So, why don't you go shut the door? So, Ottomans are bringing up a lot more of their cavalry. Don't mind my son. He is just wanting to pop by and say hi. And it looks like actually the Ottomans are maybe going to commit some cavalry here. The Mamelukes and, well, I don't know what this is, but it looks like a Lancer cavalry. And they are going to, wait, are they in the river? Okay, it just looks like they're in the river. Saxony pushing up some Hussars. Going to be faced off by the Hussars from, actually, this is a Saxon variation of Rhinebund's Hussars, interesting enough. They're countrymen, which happened quite a bit historically. So the Ottomans obviously have popped in with a ton of cav. They are going to be backed maybe by, well, I don't see a whole lot of cav to back them up. It's them against Russia, Saxony, and Russia. So, oh my goodness, they are about to get pushed really hard. If I were to predict something, I would say that Russia is about to make a big push with their cav. They got their Polish Lancers, 3 of them, and that's not good to see on the flank, as Russia is now pushed over with Saxony's, Chevaliers, France and Denmark look like they're kind of going for this flank. There's a hill right here that if you need to fall back, there's actually a hill ranging all along here, as you can see. That may be a good place to fall back to. But you would be giving up an LOC. Now, I don't know if they want to do that. I don't know if that's wise to do that. But if you're going to be outplayed and outnumbered by the enemy, and now you're starting to see Prussia, all the factions are right here. So I can't tell if the Ottomans are deciding to push forward with some of their cavalry. Because if I'm not mistaken, here's their heavies. These are more of their lights. Some more lights, here's more heavies. So they are spreading out their heavier cav, but they are outnumbered. But here comes Denmark. And Denmark is bringing some just all-around good cav. Some like dragoons-looking units, and yeah, not really sure what kind of unit that is. I don't speak Denmark. That's not the language, I know that. Oh, it looks like we may have some committing here from Russia. These guys can't form square, so maybe Russia's going to go for them. They did a volley and got one. Shameful display. Shameful display. But it looks like the coalition is actually going to be doing a very massive push for the center. I love how they're all committing at once. This is good to see, teamwork. Always encouraging, but it looks like the Ottomans are kind of bending back. Denmark is kind of like, well, hold on now, we are not ready to commit here. And France has some lancers over here that like, yeah, we're taking a pause. Can we hit the pause button here? Rhineland looks like they are going to be facing possibly Saxony. We don't know for sure yet, and it may just be that no one's going to push here and they're going to distract a whole faction. But it does look like these lancers from Poland for Russia are, okay, they're falling back because it's like they're going to be in range as more infantry looks like from the Ottomans. Some skirmishers are forming up here and going to start popping off shots, and they are in range. So over here, it's important to notice, guys, this may not be a big move, but France does have some Mamelukes over here, and they are scouting out to see if anything is moving over here. Because if nothing's moving over here, they know where they have to focus the majority of their forces. That is why scouting, excuse me, that is why scouting is so key in these battles. If you scout properly, you will know exactly where to push. In fact, Rhineland probably should be scouting a little bit more, because if no one's facing them, I would get ready to move, and you can maybe push on the flank once this battle over here is being engaged. Now, we're starting to see some more line infantry from the Ottomans advancing. Ooh, we got some, these are way better units. Good to see they brought some good quality units here. Ottomans may be key to this whole battle, depending on how they play. Denmark has some really good infantry too. They have really good elite infantry, so they could be very vital. France is going to be bringing a small, looks like actually France is going to just skirt along this road and maybe push up over here. So the Ottomans are kind of engaging a little bit, skirmishing up here. They have some cav kind of backing up, but they are starting to skirmish. They have some units that can form square to kind of defend, but it looks like Russia is now going to be forming up with some of their line infantry, or maybe not. Lost only a couple men. Oh, wow, they got some really, really, really low tier units. Good for cannon fodder on the back lines. They have their good quality infantry in the front, actually. I've not seen Prussia's line infantry, and I've not seen Saxony's line infantry, so they could be totally in a different area. Artillery starting to fire, but whose? I know that Saxony or someone over here has artillery firing at Rhineland. Man, the Ottomans are really just starting to push up and just nip at the heels of this Russian army, while they're also trying to form up. I think maybe you guys can disagree with me. I think that the coalition a little bit back when they started pushing up, I think they should have committed there. I don't think the Ottomans would have. Ooh, got some artillery blasting away at these hussars. But I think they should have pushed, because now the infantry is up, and you're not going to really commit a bunch of cav. Now, we have the heavy cav from Russia facing up against France. We have a bunch of the cheaper line infantry from Russia who are going to be sending in some good volleys. Maybe these are lights. No, they're not lights. Starting to maybe push back, force back the Ottomans who are like, yeah, no, we're not going to have any of that. None of you going to do anything like that. These guys are forming up in skirmish formation, which will make them more tired, just sitting here. And it'll make them more tired, so they have to remember that as well. And this coalition, it looks like the coalition is trying to form up in a line of battle to advance, because as you can see, the Ottomans do have this LOC. Denmark sending some grenadiers. That is an excellent unit to hold the house. And Rhineland is pushing up. Good. I wanted to see Rhineland pushing up. Ah, there they are. The bugger artillery. This horse artillery rushed up here and has been putting down the fire for quite some time now. Going for some Rhineland cav. That is not a unit that you want to lose, any of your cav at this point. But Rhineland has some lancers, some hussars, and some chasseurs cheval all pushing up. I suspect that Saxony doesn't have a whole army sitting here, but you don't want to take that gamble unless you're really, really confident. Russia is starting to fall back. Got some howitzers now, firing into the back lines, maybe trying to seek out some cavalry. And, this is an excellent position for this army. Oh my goodness, this is a massive artillery piece. How does it even stay up? I don't even know. So maybe some engagement. Okay, here's Saxony's army, but it looks like actually Rhineland is going to commit, trying to go after some hussars, scare them off, and start forming up. Now, Saxony has good cav, but their infantry are not the greatest. That is going to be something that Rhineland will have to remember. Their infantry is large, like Prussia, but not very good. Over here, still not a whole lot. Now, it looks like Russia is going to go for the flank, trying to push up. Denmark is setting up right here. I just saw artillery whistle past. That was so cool. So we have a howitzer and a 6-pounder. France still going around for the long play, probably going to meet Russia over here or push the flank. And it looks like the Ottomans are going to face off against Russia. And guys, Russia, where is Prussia? I have not seen Prussia, and that is such a large force. Prussia is so large that how do you not see them yet? I would be really wanting to find out where Prussia is. That is a lot of mass. That if they swing all that mass in one little area, they can really do some damage. Now, Rhineland's still pushing up. Saxony, it looks like they are going to definitely be squaring off against them. Horse artillery still putting the fire on. We have some skirmishers on both sides exchanging fire here. And I don't think Rhineland wants to commit yet. Their cav is in a predicament here. They are going to swing the rest of their infantry maybe over before they commit. Oh no, they have more over here. Oh wow, they're not even committing all of it. Oh, I was trying to look where I... Oh my goodness. They are going in. The chasseurs cheval are going to make a risky play going for the horse artillery, and they are going to get volleyed, but of course they're going to execute their own skirmishers. Are they going to make it? Yes, they are. Now, they may break, but they did some damage, guys, to these skirmishers. They shot them to pieces. So, in a way, it still helped. In a way, something still good happened for them. Now, over here, the Ottomans have taken this little meadow. I don't know. I apologize. I do not know my Ottoman infantry. I don't know if this is good infantry, if it's bad infantry. But they are forming up. I do know this is better infantry. You always know when it's a uniform. Maybe that's the hint. If it's in uniform where they match, it's good. If not, then it's probably not as good. Here we go. We got Prussia. I'm assuming Prussia is over here, and they are starting to push up. So, of course, cavalry is starting to shifting over to meet them. And looks like the engagement's not going to happen over here. It's going to happen in this meadow. That is something different that I've not seen with the map. The Ottomans starting to really push over here. We're starting to see the French infantry forming up to meet them. But, yeah, this infantry from Ottomans are going to have to fall back probably, as they are outnumbered right now. And that is exactly what they're going to do. It's like they heard me. No, I was kidding. Just remember, guys, the Denmark infantry haven't even advanced yet. Ottomans are engaging, and it looks like maybe Denmark is going to be reserve. We may have a cav engagement. Oh, no. I wasn't sure if they were in attack. This is a lot of infantry that cannot form square. Maybe something the Ottomans are eyeing. They're eyeballing it. It looks like more cav rushed in, going for Saxony's artillery. The Ulanen, the Lancers, and it looks like they broke them. So that is a win for them on that side. And here we go, the massive cav engagement going for all of this infantry that cannot form square. Also getting a peek at the back lines, starting to see where the rest of Prussia is. And they are going to commit with their heavy cav. And not so heavy cav. Ooh, maybe getting shot in melee. Firing in melee. And they didn't do as much damage as I thought they would. Sadly. But they did do some damage to them. They did make them lose some of their units. 84 men over here, and now the skirmishers maybe can do something about that. And it looks like Rhineland and Saxony actually, yeah, they're going to fall back here. Rhineland needs to make a decision, and they got to commit soon. Because this battle is starting to really, it's like a volcano. You're starting to see, you know, like the lava starts bubbling, and you're like, okay, it's about to blow. You have to know that it is going to blow. This battle is. Now, this side, I have the utmost confidence that France can hold. They have really good infantry. And Russia has not shown their hand yet, although Prussia is probably going to be meeting with them. And we got Prussia, yeah, pushing up on the flank. So France is going to have to cover that flank, or Denmark's going to have to shift. It looks like actually Denmark is advancing here. And Saxony's advancing. I would honestly, for Saxony, I would just fall back and be like, screw it. Let's just defeat them before they show up. Rhineland is going to be sitting on the flank. That is good to see. Allies working together. And now Denmark possibly is going to be pushing up here, starting to engage the Russians. Prussia is doing what I would do, which is going for what they think may be a gap in the lines. I mean, they are going for an open area, and France, if Russia just basically teases them the whole battle, they may force France to just sit there, unless France starts advancing, which that could be a good advice. I mean, they do have some solid lines that can form square. So, we'll see. Denmark is now taken over. Maybe Ottomans are going to sit on the flanks. And Russia is going to assault this position. Denmark, as we can take a peek at what they're bringing. Their line infantry general is sitting right here. Grenadiers. I would have them in the back lines, but that's just me because I don't want them to be routed. So now Saxony's going to start pushing up. We got Rhineland skirmishers who are probably going to get charged by Saxony's cuirassiers, unfortunately. I would run them into the house at this point. Because here comes Russia. Oh my goodness. 2 cuirassiers. Yep. Their skirmishers are as good as dead. RIP skirmishers. If they can get a volley off, guys, then that could be huge. But they are not. Oh, yes, they are. But they are dead now. And now these grenadiers are isolated in this house. The Ottomans are going to be forming up, hopefully, to try to stop this cav from pushing. Now we have Russia sitting right here. And France has an excellent position on this hill. But Prussia is just going to ignore that and push for this flank. The Ottomans are going to have to try to hold here. And as you can see, Russia is just going for infantry. Now they are going to get charged by some heavies from the Ottomans in the flank. So they need support or they are going to lose these cuirassiers. Okay, it looks like they're going to throw in some Russian lights. Are these the Polish Lancers? I think they are the Lancers. That battle is going to be indecisive. It looks like Saxony is now going to advance. They are going to get shelled now by Rheinbund's artillery. So just, exchanging that, I will say, is very favorable for Rheinbund to win. Now Ottomans are shifting over more cavalry because this is a problem. A big problem. They have a lot of enemy cav that's just pushing on their flank. No one can form square over here except for them, so hopefully they're going to do that. They're going to actually counter cav charge Prussia, now going straight for the flank of the Ottomans and Denmark. I like it. I like it a lot. Russia is going to go straight up this hill and just take on this elite Imperial French. Oh my goodness. That's probably not going to go as well. Now they have the numbers, so maybe they can just overwhelm the position. They have cav skirting around the flank. They have their cuirassiers. But I don't think this is going to go very favorably for Russia over on that side. Now over here, this is anyone's game still. I think Rheinbund has this against Saxony. And I think they're going to hold this house just because the infantry continually supporting. We have more cuirassiers from Saxony now going in against a mass of Ottoman infantry. Ottomans need to support this engagement. They can't afford to lose all this infantry. They do have some units that are firing point blank in the flank. Don't execute your own men, though. That's all I will say. And yeah, well, here we go. We got some more. Rheinbund needs to form square. Form square. Oh, no. Careful not to exploit the game in FIM. It's very easy to do without realizing you're doing it, because your men will just keep firing. Here we go, guys. This is becoming the big push. Both sides now starting to commit here. Over there, you can see that Russia is starting to become concerned already. I mean, this artillery is just point-blank shooting the Russians in the face. We have some cav now going for the flank. They're forming square. I would use Russian infantry to bayonet charge that. And this is some chasseurs that cannot probably do very well in melee. Prussia needs to push a little harder, I would say, over here. I mean, this battle is become a mosh mix of just everything. We have Ottomans forming square. I would bayonet charge them with the Saxon infantry. Russia is following it up for supporting their cav excellently. We have a mass of Russian and Ottoman cav that is just fighting it out right now. Saxony is falling back. They did do a cav charge, it looks like, and take out the guns, unfortunately, for Rheinbund on both sides. So now it is back to being even. Oh, we got some Prussian cavalry way in the back lines. Hopefully they are going to continue to guard their cannon. As you see, the Ottomans are starting to lose over here. It is becoming just crazy. Saxony pushing up with their chevaliers. Over here, Russia is starting to really lose. They're going to get really close, though, and hopefully use their numbers. Uh-oh. These skirmishers are dead. But they're going to get really close, and hopefully they can get some solid volleys off and break these chasseurs from France. If they can break France here, they can push on the flank and use superior numbers. Over here, Prussia pushing on a vastly inferior number force. Denmark trying to hold the center, and the Rheinbund and Ottomans trying to hold this flank. They are getting pushed back, and this is bad to see. Denmark is going to get flanked here as Russia is just going to push on the flank. They can start firing on the side of Denmark. And remember, guys, Prussia has terrible morale, but they have some really good shooting. Oh my goodness. We have a mass rout from Russia. They got a little too close to the fire and got sizzly burned. And so they're going to fall back in disorder, or no, an organized retreat, I would say. But they are going to have to fall back. They don't have enough to take on a hill. As you can see, France has a hill with artillery. They sat there and Russia had to attack them. So now they're going to be holding, as the rest of this battle is looking a lot better for their allies. Rhineland now trying to hold back Saxony and Russia. Rhineland over here seems to be pushing. There's no artillery on either side. Keep an eye out for that Prussian cav. They're seeking out someone they can destroy. And now Prussia is giving Russia a rest. And they are going to start engaging. We have some Prussian cavalry, some dragoons, and dragoons who are going to be pushing for the Ottomans here. Some of these guys can form square, some of them cannot. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. We got Denmark sending in some of their cavalry, the Live Guard, something like that. That is easily going to crush these Prussian cavalry units. As Prussia, though, is not going to even miss a beat. They're going to continue to push, and Denmark is still falling back. We have some artillery now getting charged by the Russians. They are probably going to break, but they're probably going to break these Ottoman artillery, unfortunately. They probably didn't get to do as much as Ottomans would have wanted them to. Over here, it looks like now Rhineland is going to engage Saxony. Now, Saxony is probably going to lose this engagement. Like I said, Saxony's infantry isn't the greatest quality. Rhineland has, it's basically French infantry. So they're going to do very well there. Over here, Rhineland is holding. Rhineland is doing some multitasking. So they are trying to hold the flank for Denmark. Artillery right here doing what they can. Ottomans did some cav charge. And, oh my goodness, Russia is doing even more charging. It looks like France has now decided to do a cav charge going down the hill. Over here, Russia is doing more cav, and I think this is a bayonet charge, guys. This looks like it's going to be a bayonet charge to the death for Russia. Over here, Ottomans did a bayonet charge as well. Bayonet charge in the square, come on. They are going to now start pushing on Prussia, and Prussia is now scrambling to reform. Over here, charging up the hill, going up against some chasseurs. They have calves supporting them. That is what you want to see, and actually, France is in trouble. France is starting to break against this bayonet charge. What an epic charge by Russia. Usually those fail. They use their cav well, and now France is going to have to maybe reform here. At the same time, though, I'm going to adjust the volume. At the same time, Prussia is starting to have a struggle against Denmark. We have some cav rushing over here from Denmark, trying to ensure that the artillery is safe. Rhineland is pushing Saxony back. That is good to see. They can maybe swing around the flank. They can take some LOCs if this battle runs to the timer. And this battle is being well fought on both sides. Ottomans pushing on Prussia. Over here, France is being broken, unfortunately, by Russia. Although they are not out of this battle yet, as France is using their elite cav to maybe break a lot of Russians. So this may end up just killing each other. As charge that square. Just charge it. Ottomans have made a breakthrough here. They are fighting against the Saxon cav. Saxony sending over more Chevaliers, trying to maybe retake this flank. Prussia is in trouble now. As you can see, they are starting to break their morale. It's not holding the mass route. And it looks like actually, yeah, they're going to go straight for them, go right for the throat. Russia could win against Rhineland. Rhineland doesn't have a lot of infantry here. They definitely outnumbered them. So they need to hurry up over here and win if they want to be able to defend this flank. It looks like France may still win, but they are going to be badly bloodied. They are surrounding a square. And France did what they could, and Russia definitely did what they could. Russia did a solid attack. Unfortunately, it was not enough. Now, Saxony, backed by Prussia, is doing a counterattack, trying to win back this area. They're sending in their Chevaliers in 2 different points. We have Ottomans sitting on the flank now getting cav charged by the Dragoons from Prussia. Prussia is like, let's form back here maybe, you know, Russia, let's form back. Because over here, they are starting to win. Doing some bayonet charges. Rhineland is pushing back. I think Saxony maybe is going to just fall back to this LOC, as that is a 4-pointer. You want to hold that. And they're going to try to delay them as much as possible. Rhineland is getting shot to pieces by the Russians. The Russian players doing an excellent job. We have some cavalry that is charging the Denmark artillery. That is unfortunate, as they're going to lose their artillery now. France has kept it together, thankfully, long enough. Ottomans still trying to hold this flank together. Denmark throwing in some cav now. It looks like Saxony may be losing. These guys are exhausted. I would try to get them out of there. And now France is going to advance to the aid of their ally. Thankfully, this big engagement here for the Ottomans worked. They were able to push on the flank, and Prussia, who was such a predominant threat, is now gone. But this flank here is a big problem. Rhineland needs to move now. Denmark is getting just harassed by cav. There is a bunch of infantry from Russia who are just pushing on the flank. That is bad news for Denmark. Now over here, Ottomans, they should continue to push, and Denmark actually should be continuing to put pressure on Russia, not letting them reform. They do have France over here who is going to be coming to their aid, hopefully saving them from getting outflanked. Ooh, we have a general sitting right here from Saxony. I would try to go for them. And as you can see, the battle is just gone too crazy. Denmark now reforming, and France needs to continue to push. They can't let this... They don't have time on their side. They have to push on a flank because Ottomans and Denmark are going to reform here with France in reserve and Rhineland back here. So Rhineland is going to maybe hopefully just skirt around this river. Denmark still has this house as well. Oh, is this a general? Rhineland's general is doing some odd things. I hope they didn't drop.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
Interesting. Okay, well, now Russia has a chance to push before Denmark forms up. Prussia is trying to do what they can. They have 4 units. They're trying to hold back the Ottomans, who are pushing. Ottomans doing an excellent job of not giving them a minute to even reform. And this is a weak spot for this Russian army. They have to realize that. Maybe if they formed up to where they were with a flank to the river, they would do well, because Denmark is still a very healthy. They got some really healthy units, some not so healthy units, but they have reserves, and they have France. Now, it looks like some cavalry is engaging some artillery and some infantry, getting rid of the artillery, hopefully. They actually didn't. So France is going to have to still have a little nip of like a mosquito sitting on their side that's going to be just nipping here and there. Oh, we got some Saxony cav sitting way back here who looks like the Ottomans are possibly going to charge. Oh, they can shoot. That is helpful. So here we go, guys. The major engagement. Prussia can't. They gotta stop and engage. They can't let Russia try to be in a stagnant line battle against Denmark, because they're gonna lose. Rhineland is starting to push up. Saxony can't fall back. They have to stop them. Even if they get defeated, they have to stop Rhineland. That is their one and only goal at this point. Stop them from taking on the Russians in the back. Russia is still trying the best they can to reform, hold them back. But Denmark is starting to feel pretty confident, as you can see. I mean, they're pushing up, prepared to just spew fire down on them, in the way of musket fire, of course. And Ottomans still pushing up here. See, these guys are very tired, and the reason they're very tired is they're in light infantry formation. So for those of you who are newer to NTW3, that's not something you usually want to do. You don't want to do light infantry formation just because you will exhaust them, and they will not fire as fast, they will not move as fast, and their morale starts to not be the greatest anymore. We got a general... No, these are hussars. My bad. Some hussars going for the artillery piece for Russia. Gonna take them out of the battlefield. Saxony looks like they are going to join up with their allies for a last-ditch effort. Russia has sacrificed 3 of their units who are going to die to Denmark. Denmark is a solid faction I have found from playing against them and playing with them. So here we go. We got some Ottoman cav going for... Oh, okay. They're going to back charge. Uh-oh. They were going to back charge, but they're going to go against the square now. And I think actually they're changing their mind. Saxony, excellent job. Saxony needs to do this. They can inflict a lot of losses if Rheinbund ignores them. Even if Rheinbund doesn't ignore them, they are still going to inflict some losses here. And I think that what Russia is trying to do is take this building before Denmark can get there. But look at this excellent use of charging a square. This is guard units, grenadiers, but they're in square formation. They are going to, as you can see, start losing instantly. Now, it looks like there's all-out bayonet charges as well as cav supporting them so they can't form square without suffering for it. But Russia's not out of this game yet, guys. They can do some damage. Now, the Ottoman cavalry is going to really wreak havoc on Russia, and I think this battle is probably going to be a loss for the coalition at this point. Unfortunately, they had such a solid push, but the Ottomans had another solid push, and Rheinbund is just ignoring these 3 units, just sending 3 of their units, some Saxon. I love how Saxon units are going up against Saxony. It's like the biggest betrayal. Now, Russia is trying to maybe get something out of this, but, I mean, they are just outnumbered, and Denmark still has a lot of infantry. Who used all their... Oh. I bet you these grenadiers, they've probably been firing this whole time. Yeah, they can't fire anymore, guys. That is a unit well spent. I mean, their kills is... I mean, I'm curious to see the Norski Grenadiers. I'm curious how many kills they got. So here we go. France is pushing. This battle is coming to a close. Rheinbund is, looks like, doing a bayonet charge here. Denmark pushing on the flank, hopefully. And Saxony is going to cave pretty soon here. No use prolonging the inevitable. You know, I would just go out with a bang. In this case, it's a bayonet. Bang. So we got Rheinbund battling it out with Saxony. I think these are Saxon troops once again. This is just the irony. Brothers fighting brothers. And they cannot be stopped here. As the general now falls. And the Allies meet in the center. So I think this battle will be over now. Yeah. Unless there's someone in... Oh, yeah, there was someone in an LOC, wasn't there? Yep, way over yonder. So, hopefully they hop out and die with honor. Okay. I'm going to fast forward here because I think
we have killed their generals.
This should be it. They just got to defeat, you know, whoever's sitting in this house. They're going to win by LOC victory for sure. So at this point, yeah. Good game, though. I mean, the push You can see where it broke, but the push was epic by Russia. They did some solid work pushing on this flank, and just, if Denmark had been able to be held in place, basically if Prussia hadn't gotten pushed, which is why Ottoman's push was so vital, they could have held Denmark in place and just turned the entire flank. Alright, like I said, guys, I'm going to skip ahead because this battle is over, and it will be a French alliance victory. Alright, so that was sent in by JG Master. And he was Denmark, obviously. Wow, they got some really good kills. France got a ton of kills, probably because they were taking on Russia. Let's see here. I'm curious, where are those grenadiers? Where are they? 275. That is how you use all your ammunition. My goodness, they got probably the most kills. Yep, 275. That is crazy. Well, that will be it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for our live stream tomorrow, playing some NTW3, and more videos to follow. My schedule is going to be different now, so I will be posting on some different days. The weekend stays the same, but some other days will be a little different. And that's just how, it goes with adult life and work schedules. So, thank you guys for joining me. You guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all in another video.